YouTube, how's it going? Welcome back to Pokémon Draft. My name is JD. Last week we did a playthrough of Pokémon Crystal using Dunsparce. It was a first playthrough, which means there's very little preparation. The only thing we prepare is kind of look at the hidden power and see what hidden power can help us throughout the course of the game. And then we play through with nothing more than our knowledge of Pokémon Crystal. Dunsparce didn't do horrible. What we're doing today is we're going to be doing an optimized playthrough. I'll go over what that means here in a second. Let's dive into this playthrough. The first thing we're going to do is review the stats of this Pokemon. They are as follows. HP is 100, attack is 70, defense is 70, special attack, special defense are 65, and speed is 45. Speed being 45 would usually be a hindrance for most Pokemon. However, in Pokemon Crystal, the nature of the game is you get over-leveled because of all the battles you have to endure, which means we're not going to have a problem with our speed until we face Red. Let's watch the first battle of this game, which is against our rival. Rival's name is triple question mark. As per tradition, we gave him a Totodile or Chikorita. Either one would have been fine. We just didn't want to give it a Cyndaquil. Cyndaquil is a fire type. We gave our Pokemon a rock type egg move, so it wouldn't have been great. It wouldn't have been a very fun day for Cyndaquil. We end up beating our rival pretty easily, and we're going to move right on to the next area. We're going to start training. While we're training, we're going to go over what we did in this playthrough that made this Pokemon optimized. The first thing we're going to do is talk about our egg moves. Egg moves, we had 5 options: Ancient Power, Bide, Bite, Rage, and Rock Slide. We're going to eliminate 2 right away. Bide is garbage. If you ever have to use Bide in the playthrough, especially Pokemon Crystal, you're going to have a bad time. It's not going to be a fun playthrough. Bide, just don't even consider it. Rage, we already have Rage, and we don't want to do double Rage. Wouldn't have been bad to have extra power points of Rage, I guess. Maybe in the first playthrough we didn't have a better move, but Rage, not useful. We already have it. So that leaves us with 3 moves: Ancient Power, Bite, and Rock Slide. Bite would have been pretty decent. If you outspeed the Pokemon, use Bite, you do have an option that could make the Pokemon flinch. It is a possibility. You also very effective against Ghost and Psychic type Pokemon. However, at some point in the game, this will not be effective, and so we move on from it. And I want a move that can pace and kind of carry us through the game, which is why we're down to Ancient Power and Rock Slide. Rock Slide honestly should have been the one I chose in hindsight. It is more powerful than Ancient Power with 75 base power. It's 90% accurate. That's the one real drawback, and it has more power points than Ancient Power. It also can make the opposition flinch as well. It's a very low percentage, but it can happen. But I went with Ancient Power. The reason why I went with Ancient Power is it's way more accurate, and it has the option, I should say, to do the Omni Boost. If you don't know what the Omni Boost is, whenever you use Ancient Power, there's a 10% chance that all your stats will be boosted by 1 stage, which doesn't actually ever happen in this playthrough. That's why I said in hindsight, I probably should have chose Rock Slide. It would have been more consistent, more damage overall, and I wouldn't have been fishing for an Omni Boost. And then the second thing we want to talk about is Hidden Power. We modified the Hidden Power, and I'm going to showcase how you modify Hidden Power and why it's effective and how it's used in the game. First thing I want to tell you is I use a program called PK Hex, which lets me modify Pokemon. It lets me modify my moves. So if you've ever watched the What If, and I have like a moveset modification where I'm adding a move that this Pokemon usually doesn't naturally get, that's how I do it. And the other thing you can do in here is modify stats. And when I play through Pokemon Blue, everyone gets maxed out stats. So it's like the most fair that everyone has max IV, so it's the best case scenario for this Pokemon. Whenever you select a Pokemon in any generation, how fast you select the Pokemon and hit yes, I want this Pokemon, it randomizes the numbers. So on the left side here, you're seeing the layouts of how your stats distribute to give you Hidden Power Flying. Every stat can max out at 15. They're called IVs, which means inherent values. Something you're born with. You inherit it, I guess is the best way to put it. HP is 7, attack is 12, defense is 13, and then special and speed are both 15. Those 2 are maxed out, but we lose a little bit on the attack with Hidden Power Flying, and we lose a lot on the HP with Hidden Power Flying, which is why Hidden Power Flying wasn't the best option. I chose it because it was going to be useful against fighting type Pokemon because we're weak to them, so I thought this would be a great way to counter it. However, this Pokemon, just like other normal type Pokemon, gets access to Return, which becomes very powerful pretty early in the game, and you're just able to stomp out any fighting type Pokemon that thinks can give you issues. On the right side is going to showcase how our stats are distributed if we pick Hidden Power Ice. We have 15 in HP, 15 in attack, defense is still 13, so we didn't change anything there, and then special and speed are both 15 as well, which means we have much better attack throughout the course of the game, way more HP, and honestly, Hidden Power Ice just does way more to the opposition. There's way more things it's effective against. It's a special move. We are really a physical attacker, and we don't have a lot of special moves anyway, so this gives us an option to attack things that are weak to special moves. That's what we modify with this Pokemon. Like I said, Hidden Power Ice, very useful in a playthrough, and that's what we're going to go forward with this playthrough. And honestly, I should have done this on the first attempt, but I thought to myself, I overthought it. I thought, you're a normal type, what are you weak to? We're weak to fighting. How are we going to counter fighting? Oh, Hidden Power Flying or Hidden Power Psychic. Those are the 2 options. And in The reason why I chose flying is because you can pick up a thing called the Sharp Beak. Some other things about this Pokemon before we dive into our battle against Faulkner. We're in a medium slow growth rate, which is good, or medium fast growth rate, which is pretty good in a playthrough. We're a normal type. I don't know why we're not normal ground. This is the land snake Pokemon, so it doesn't make sense. I don't know why we have wings. I really don't know why that's the case. Right now we have a berry equipped, and we're going to go head right into Faulkner's gym. We did not have to do Bellsprout Tower in an optimized playthrough. We have the option to skip that if we would so choose, which I did. Faulkner battle. Here we go. This is why we chose Ancient Power. It gives us a super effective move against Pidgey and Pidgeotto, making this gym pretty obsolete. And honestly, it does the same thing to the Bug Gym. We knock out Pidgeotto, very good. We beat Faulkner, we accumulate the TM for Mud Slap. That's going to be useful here later in the game. And now we're going to dive right into Bugsy's gym. Bugsy is the bug specialist. He's going to lead out with a Metapod. We have Ancient Power. You're going to see the power in the top left corner. It's a 60 base power move. It doubles to 120 with Metapod, so that's a one-shot. Kakuna, it's also going to be a one-shot. Very good. And now Scyther's Bug Flying, so it's 4 times effective, and it's a one-shot as well. Pretty easy wins, super easy, barely inconvenience. Barely took anything at all from Bugsy. We're going to leave here, and we could probably just go right into the next battle, but we thought we'd be a little bit precautious and go ahead and heal. And this is going to lead right into our second rival. This is usually the most difficult rival battle because you don't usually have an established Pokemon that has a lot of moves that are good against Ghost type. However, we have Ancient Power and Mud Slap. Both are useful against Ghastly. So we're going to go for Ancient Power. Searching for that Omni Boost. We don't get an Omni Boost. I think we got 2 the entire game, and none of them were in key battles. One shot on the Zubat because it's a rock type move. And then Crocodile. There's not really a great move here, but he also can't do a lot of damage to us. Water Gun's doing a few damage. It's not much at all. We knock out the Crocodile. Very easy win over our rival. He's going to run off and pout about it. We're going to follow him into the forest, and we're going to talk to this guy over here with green hair. Why does everyone in this game get a name, but the guy with green hair doesn't get a name? He's just called the guy with green hair. But he gives us Headbutt, and we're going to move right on and grab Dig. Dig and Headbutt are going to be useful in this playthrough. Very useful. Headbutt is Stab, so we already have a good Stab move. We're over 115 power. I didn't mention this earlier, but we've also backtracked and grabbed Pink Bow. The Pink Bow gives us a 10% boost on all normal moves, so that's good. And now we're moving on and facing Whitney. She'll give us another boost in normal moves, but we got to beat her first. Clefairy comes out, and we're going to go for Ancient Power on the Clefairy, fishing for that Omni Boost. We're going to do it one more time. We don't get an Omni Boost. I'm not going to risk that on the Miltank. Miltank can get that rollout going and whip our butts. You did miss a rollout, which is good. Milk Drink, right now we're just kind of offsetting the Milk Drink. So you're going to go for rollout again. Does get a decent amount of damage with a critical hit. However, we still beat Whitney, and we get a nice boost. And our normal moves, look at Headbutt. It went from 115 to 129. That is that boost from Whitney's gym. And now we're moving on to the next phase of the game, which is where we face the rock tree thing, Sudowoodo. He's going to wiggle and dance at us a little bit, and he's going to come out. And he's actually a Pokemon that can do a lot too, because he does have low kick. However, Dig will be a 2-shot. Knock out the Sudowoodo. Very good. And that leads us right into the next area of the game. We're going to go get Hidden Power. Like I said, we're using Hidden Power Ice, and Hidden Power Ice makes it so a lot of things are obsolete that we had problems with in the first playthrough. But we're going to get Hidden Power Ice. We're going to get out of here, and we're going to teleport back, and we're going to face... The Komodo girls in this game are actually pretty easy. It's not the same in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. They become very convoluted, very difficult in that game. However, we have Headbutt. We're going to Headbutt every one of these Pokemon, except for one. One of them will not be a one-shot, but all these Pokemon will be a one-shot. Headbutt on the Espeon, is it a one-shot? It isn't a one-shot, very good. The only one I'm not sure on is the Umbreon. We are not as high leveled as we were in the original playthrough. We one-shot the Umbreon in the original playthrough, however, in this one, we get a 2-shot, not a big deal. Now we move on to this one. I think this is Vaporeon. Yep, it's Vaporeon. Vaporeon might survive one as well. It's pretty bulky. Nope, get the knockout, very good. Level up, level 28. And we have one more Komodo girl, that's Jolteon. Jolteon should go down as well to 1 Headbutt. It's very low defensively. So we're going to leave here, we're going to heal, and we're going to go face our next rival battle. Third rival battle in the burned down mansion. And we're going to save right here. And this battle is going to become very easy. And as we progress to this game, you're going to realize that the rivals really has no impact on us at all. What we could have done differently here is instead of getting Cursed, we could have gone for Mud Slap, and Mud Slap might have one-shot as possible, or we could have done Dig, either one of them. But our moveset is pretty well built for our rival. We barely take any damage. We took a little bit of damage there, and now we're going to go for Headbutt on the Crocodile. Curse damage, that's the biggest thing we're going to take. We beat our third rival. Pretty easy. We're going to fall through this floor. Oh no! And we're going to land right in front of Morty. and Morty's going to come out with a Ghastly. He's going to have 2 Haunters and a Gengar. Now, this is where rollout could have been possible here, but I decided not to use rollout until the very end of the game because I thought we had better moves throughout the course of the game. We're going for Dig. Dig's going to one-shot. We avoided Curse. Very good. Ghastly goes down. Haunter comes out next. We're going to Dig on the Haunter. It's a one-shot as well. Gengar comes out. Now, we didn't equip the pink bow or anything, so we could get put to sleep here, and we end up getting ourselves put to sleep. We have just a sliver of health for Gengar. We could have got this done on the first try. However, it gets us right here. We don't wake up in time, and Dream Eater knocks us out. So we're going to face Morty one more time, and we're just going to do a quick reset right here. That's our first reset of the game. We didn't get our first reset of the game, I think, until... Where did we get our first reset in the last one? It was a while into the game. I don't think we got it till the Elite Four in the original playthrough. But we're going to face Morty again, and we really can't do anything different. Maybe just a better range. Ancient Power, hope to get an Omni Boost there, but we didn't get an Omni Boost. We didn't get one on the Haunter, and now we leave ourselves susceptible to getting put to sleep. This is why Dig is the better option. More powerful. You're getting one-shots on every Pokemon except for one. It is good, though, that Haunter did not go for Curse, or that we didn't get hit by Curse with Ghastly, because if we did, we could have been taking some serious damage there while we were asleep. However, we're just got to wake up and hit Dig, and we'll knock out the Gengar. Very good. And now just go for Dig on the Haunter. We got a little bit fancy in this battle, wasted some time. However, we get the win over Morty eventually. Morty. I'm going to move right on and face old Chucky Boy. Now, Chucky Boy's gym, pretty much everything in here should have an advantage over us. However, we were over leveled at this point. We decided to add Return. Return ends up being 189 power, I'm sorry, 189, and we're end up one-shotting everything in this gym for the most part, except for the Poliwrath. We're going to go ahead and go with the next trainer. He's going to have a Machop and Machoke. Machop's going down to 1 Return. Machoke is it a one-shot? I'm pretty sure it's a one-shot. I'm very confident. I like the art, by the way. This overlay has certain trainers have certain art. I like it. It's pretty fun. And we're going to move these boulders a little bit. There we go. And we're going to face this guy. This guy has a Primeape and a couple Mankeys. The Mankeys will go down pretty easy. And it's a little bit of a litmus test to see how well you're going to do against the Primeape. It is 2 levels lower than Chuck's Primeape. However, we do get a one-shot at level 25. Chuck's Primeape is level 27. So it's a good litmus test to see how well you're going to do against Chuck's Primeape. We're going to save. And now we're going to face old Chucky Boy. Sucky Chucky, as I like to call him. He does not do well. He only has 2, I don't know why he only has 2 Pokemon. It's dumb to me. But we're going to go for Return on the Primeape. Very good. Poliwrath, go for Return. I don't know why he didn't go for anything else. I think he was setting up Dynamic Punch because he knows it's going to be a one-shot once he takes aim. But we get the win, and we're move right on to Lake of Rage. We're going to face the hulked-out Red Gyarados. Red Gyarados comes out. We're going to go for Ancient Power. I thought it would be a one-shot, honestly. I thought it had a weakness, so knock it out. Not a big deal. We do get the win eventually. Grab the red scale and go take on Price. We skipped over the rocket plot line. I don't want to show you that. I don't want to suscept you guys to that. It's kind of time consuming and boring. Return on the seal. It's a one shot. Dugong. Is it a one shot? It is. Very good. Now Piloswine comes out. Piloswine, it looks like it's going to be a 2-shot. He goes for Blizzard. The only real downside here is Blizzard could freeze us. But other than that, we get a 2-hit knockout. We knock out Price. We knock out Piloswine, I should say. But then we knock out Price because he sucks. And now we're going to go ahead and talk to Jasmine. We're going to give her the medicine to heal up the Empress. And he flashes us. She runs to her gym. And we follow her. And now we're going to face her for her gym badge. We did not have a problem in the first playthrough when it came to her gym. So I don't expect a problem here. We're going to go for Dig on the Magnemite. It's a one-shot. Very good. Magnemite, we don't want it to hit us with Thunder Wave. Luckily, we outspeed and go first. Knock out the second Magnemite. And now we're dealing with Steelix. Steelix, we're going to go for Dig on the Steelix. It doesn't do a lot of damage. Now, in the last playthrough, we used Mud Slap. So Mud Slap was useful, but Hidden Power lets us 3-shot this Pokemon. We beat Jasmine, and we're moving right on to our 4th rival battle. Yeah, 4th rival battle in the underground basement rocket hideout thing. And he's going to lead out with a Golbat. Golbat gives us the opportunity to fish for an Omni Boost. Ancient Power, not a one-shot. And now we're confused, which is awesome. And this is where I said having Rock Slide would have been a little bit better. It had a little bit more boost and probably would have one-shot that Pokemon. And we got confused, so it leaves this battle with a chance. Would have been more consistent with Rock Slide, even though it is 90% accurate. Knock out the Haunter. We're going to knock out the Sneasel as well. Very good. We do not get the Omni Boost, so we're not going to have an Omni Boost in this playthrough. In this battle, I should say. We knock out the Feraligatr with 2. Oh my god, we get so look at all these flinches we just got in a row. That's like 4 flinches in a row. We still knock out we didn't get the half health yet. That's how bad Feraligatr is. At least the rivals Feraligatr. And now we're facing Claire. This is part of my rival Claire rival sandwich. Claire comes out with the Dragonair, and having Hidden Power Ice makes it so her gym is pretty much obsolete. We got a great move for all the Dragonairs. Honestly, Return probably could have done just as much, but we knock out the Dragonairs with Hidden Power Ice, and that brings out Kingdra. We're going to stick with Hidden Power Ice on the Kingdra because we don't want to go for Return. It's going to put it in a healing loop, and we end up getting a 2-hit knockout with a combination of Hidden Power and Return to beat Claire. She whines about us beating her. We have to go through the stupid dragon thing, but we're going to skip over that and head right into Victory Road, where we're going to face our rival. Our rival is going to be the last rival of the game, and he's going to lead out with the best team possible that he has, which is going to start out with a Sneasel. Sneasel gives us the opportunity, like I said, to search for that Omni Boost if we can get one. The only one I recall that we got was actually against the lady with the Rabbitash before we entered Victory Road. That's the only time I recall actually getting the Omni Boost. So we don't get the Omni Boost here, and now we're switching to another move anyway. Dig's going to one-shot the Magneton, very good. Haunter's going to come out, we're going to go for Dig again. We don't want to mess around with him. He can put us to sleep. Now, actually, he can't because he does not have a sleeping move. But he can confuse us and he can curse us. So that can be bad. Return one shot to Kadabra. And then Feraligatr comes out one more time. Return. And he goes for Slash. It barely tickles us. We get the win over our rival. And we're going to head on to the Pokemon League and take on the Elite Four. Very excited about this. Let's do this. Before we go into the Elite Four, we're going to do two things. First thing we're going to do is we're going to save. That way we have a save point in case we don't beat the first trainer. Second thing we're going to do is look at our moves and our stats. So the first thing we look at is our moves. We have Return, Ancient Power, Hidden Power, and Dig. I do not plan on modifying this throughout the course of the Elite Four. And we have the Pink Bow equipped. We can also equip the Never Melt Ice or the Quick Claw if they are necessary. And also Soft Sand. We have that. I don't think we're going to need it for the Elite Four. And then we're going to look at our stats. Stats are as follows. Attack is 114, Defense is 112. Special attack, special defense is 110, and speed is 89. If you look in the bottom left corner of the screen, you can see our stats modified with the corresponding badge. Attack's 128, defense is 126, special attack is 123, special defense 110, and speed is 100. That being said, we're going to go ahead and dive into this and face our first member of the Elite Four, which is Will. In the last playthrough, we forgot to buy full restores, and we lost to, who did we lose to? We lost to Bruno, and then we had to restart the Elite Four, so that took some time. This time we were prepared, we have all the stuff we need, and we're going to go ahead and knock out all these Pokemon. We knocked out the Xatu, we knocked out the Jinx, we have Executor goes down to 1 return, the critical hit, don't know if that mattered or not, but we'll take it. Slowbro critical hit as well, that's nice. And the last Pokemon Xatu, we get the one shot, clean sweep over Will, didn't take any damage, and I'm going to move right on and face Koga. Koga is a poison specialist of the Elite Four. He's going to lead out with an Ariados. Ariados, we're going to go ahead and go for Ancient Power. Searching for an Omni Boost. We don't get one. It sucks. We just never get one in this playthrough. It really is something I wish I just had, more damage output. Like that would have been a one-shot with Rock Slide, things like that. We knock out the Venomoth, and now Fortress comes out. Now Fortress, we don't have anything great for Fortress. Return seems to be doing a decent amount. The good news is it doesn't have anything to do a lot of damage except for Explosion. But it doesn't go boom, it goes dead, and we're going to knock out the Muck. It's going to be a 2-shot. Even with Acid Armor, it's a 2-shot. Now the last Pokemon is Crobat. I would go for Ancient Power and search for an Omni Boost, however, we're not going to get it. So we keep going for Return, and Return almost 1-shots, get a full restore. We're going to hit Return again, and we get a critical hit, knocking it out. Beating Koga, the battle was a lot closer and more interesting than I wanted it to be, but we'll take the win and move right on to Bruno. Now, Bruno is the one that I thought we needed Hidden Power Flying for, but we don't. Return will knock out the Hitmontop. Return will also knock out the Hitmonlee. Hitmonchan, I believe, will go for Mach Punch, which is a priority move, so we get hit by Mach Punch. Doesn't do that much damage, so not a big deal. And now Onix comes out. Machamp comes out. Return will be a 2-shot. We do tank a Cross Chop, even though we're super weak to it. Max Potion puts him in a healing loop, not a big deal. And now we have Onix. Now, if we didn't have Hidden Power Ice, we might lose here because Onix can take a lot of damage from other moves. However, we get the win over Bruno, first try victory, and that leads us right into our next member of the Elite Four, which is Karen. Karen's going to lead out with an Umbreon. We did not have an issue with Karen in the last playthrough. I think we have an issue here. We get a little bit of confusion. I don't know if we get Sand attacked, but we knock out the Umbreon, very good. And now Vileplume. Do we knock out the Vileplume? We do not, and it paralyzes us. This leaves us to lose the battle. We're not going to get through all these Pokemon. Gengar is going to get a chance to use Curse on us. So we're not going to have the opportunity to knock it out before it uses Curse. Nope. And we're just going to take damage. And unless we one-shot the next couple Pokemon. He used Destiny Bond on us, which is stupid. So we get knocked out, and we take our second reset of the game. And we're going to go ahead and face Karen one more time. Not fun. Not fun getting Destiny bonded. It's not the... I hate that move with the Burning Passion. But Umbreon, we're going to go for Return on the Umbreon. Now we get our Axeload this time. So this creates a brand new problem. Instead of being confused and getting paralyzed, we can hit for max strength and max, but just not max accuracy. So we go for Hidden Power on the Gengar. We're going for Dig on the Gengar. It's probably not the greatest move. Dig is not great to use right now because Dig takes a turn and we took a decent amount of damage. However, we do get the one-shot on the Gengar. We get the one-shot on the Murkrow. So if we just hit the Houndoom, we got this. We hit the Houndoom, very good. The fact that we got cursed really isn't effective here. The fact that we got our accuracy lowered really isn't effect here. We get the win. We're going to full restore. Now we're going to go ahead and save. And we're going to face the final member of the Elite Four, the champion, who is Lance, the liar with the flyers, as my guy Squidgy would say. Recommend you go check him out. He's got a lot of great videos. He actually just did a video on Gyarados, so go watch that. Ancient Power. I was fishing for an Omni Boost, as per tradition. Knock out the Gyarados, take no damage. And now we're looking at the Dragonite. We have Hidden Power Ice, which is effective power of 315 because it's 4 times weak. It's weak because it's Dragon, and it's also Flying type. Get to knock out on the second Dragonite. Aerodactyl comes out. We're going to stick with the same move. Hyper Beam does not do that much damage to us at all. He's got to take a turn to reset, so we get the knockout with another Hidden Power Ice. Very good. I'll go for Ancient Power on the Charizard. It's a one-shot. He is 4 times weak to Ancient Power. And then Dragonite number 3 comes out. However, he does survive a Hidden Power, which is very surprising to me. However, we do get the win. We do get the knockout. We do beat Lance. Now we're going to get our time locked into the Elite Four. So we get a time locked in at 1 hour, 10 minutes, and 34 seconds. When you compare that with our last playthrough, the original playthrough, we beat the Elite Four 1 hour, 18 minutes, and 37 seconds. We are actually a level lower, and we actually have one more reset. So not a big deal, but it's a decent amount of improvement. 8 minutes for a Pokemon doesn't evolve. That's a pretty good time. And honestly, if you saw the same playthrough I just saw, there's room for improvement. We could do better, but that's only half the battle. We do have to go face Kanto. We got 8 more gym leaders in red, so I will see you all in Kanto. In the last playthrough, I did not go over the Kanto gym leaders because we really had a lot of struggles against the last 2 trainers in the game. That was blue and then red. In this one, we don't have as many struggles, so we're going to go ahead and watch these battles with the gym leaders, and I'm going to talk about the channel for a little bit. First off, I haven't asked this yet. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Liking gets this out to more people, gets the algorithm going. Commenting gets the algorithm going, but it's like using Swords Dance. It really ramps it up. And then subscribing lets me know and lets YouTube know you're willing to come back and watch my videos. And if you enjoy my videos, make sure you comment down below what your favorite part was. Who's your favorite Pokemon Generation 2? Any of those answers. What do you think I could do differently with this Pokemon? What is a what-if scenario you want me to do? Do you want me to look at Dunsparce's Generation 3 move pool and try to add it to this game? There's tons of things I can do. Generation 2 opens up so many possibilities. It gets my mental juices flowing. There's so many possibilities. Egg moves, backboarded moves from another generation. I'm contemplating doing a playthrough where I'm using Generation 3 Nidoking in Generation 1 because he gets access to Dig and a couple other things that he does not get access to in Gen 1. So just things like that. But I'm really excited about the next playthrough in Crystal. The next playthrough in Crystal is going to be Gligar. I've never used Gligar before. Apparently, it kind of gets the shaft when it comes to movesets. However, its egg move pool is very broad and it's very good. And also, there might be a good event move I can do with this Pokemon. There's a lot of possibilities. Why I like Generation 2 so much, it opened up so many possibilities for Pokemon, especially with egg moves and all these other things. And the other thing I want to talk about is our challenge we're doing in Pokemon Blue. The challenge we're doing in Pokemon Blue is figuring out who the best ground type is. We did Nidoking last week, who is the speedrunner's choice Pokemon for Generation 1, and then Nidoqueen this week. She's not bad. I would say she could be a speedrunning Pokemon as well if she's utilized the right way. But that's what we're doing right now on this channel. And a couple of things that are coming up. We're doing the ground type challenge now. So there's 3 more ground types after Nidoqueen. We have Sandslash, not Sandshrew, I'm sorry. We do Fully Evolved, Dugtrio, and we also have Marowak. Those 3 are coming out the next 3 weeks. I'm very excited about those. And then we are going to do the Rock type challenge next. The Rock type challenge is a lot of Pokemon. Actually, a couple of the Pokemon on this. Actually, I think all the Pokemon on the screen right now are in the Rock type challenge. Except instead of having Rhyhorn, we're going to have Rhydon. Instead of having Graveler, we're going to have Golem. We do have Amistar and Kabutops, which is very ironic that we're talking about this right now. But we're beating Brock right here, and we're going to move on. I'm not going to talk about the next battle. But I'm really excited about the Rock type challenge. Actually, 1 Pokemon's missing. Let me correct that. We don't have Aerodactyl on that list. But Aerodactyl, it's garbage. It's not going to be that good. I do think the worst Pokemon in this challenge that we're going to actually do a playthrough of, I'm not doing a Ditto challenge in Generation 1. I've already done that twice. I'm not doing one again. It is the slowest and worst Pokemon in Generation 1. We're figuring out all the rest of the slow ones. And I think Onix is like the second worst Pokemon in Generation 1. Fully evolved, I mean, you can obviously look at like a Caterpie, can't even beat the game, or a Weedle or whatever. However, Onix has a capacity to beat the game. You can take it all the way through. It's just garbage throughout the entire courses. Now, here's what's happening right now. This is not a fun thing that happened. The controller I have, I've been using the same controller for the past 3 years. The A button literally stopped working. So in the middle of doing this, I had to open up the controller settings and switch A to X to get through. Now I have another controller. It's actually wireless, so I'm going to use that going forward. But that's why you had that stoppage right there. So that probably added some time to this Pokemon that was unnecessary. It's not a lot of time. It's not like a couple minutes. It was probably about 20, 30 seconds. But it was very annoying because I kept just smashing A and it would not respond. Let's watch our battle against Blue. This is one of the hard battles we had in the first playthrough. And we're going to go for Pidgeot. We're going to get a 2-hit knockout on the Pidgeot. We try for the Omni Boost again, to no avail. But we knock out the Alakazam with Return. And now Rhydon comes out. This is where Hidden Power Ice is really shining right now. Hidden Power Ice turns this into a one-shot, so he doesn't get to set up, Sandstorm. He doesn't get to hit us with Earthquake. He's a very powerful Pokemon if you don't handle him correctly. We get a Return on the Gyarados, knock it out. We have 2 Pokemon left. One of them is Exeggutor. Hidden Power Ice is not a one-shot. It does take in Sunlight. It was going to use Solar Beam on us, but we avoid it. And now we're facing on Arcanine. Arcanine will be, it looks like a 2-shot. But he's going to heal. He's going to get in the healing loop here. He's going to full restore. We're going to use Return again. And he's going to full restore again. And we're going to go for Return again. And all we need to do is get a crit and we can knock it out. However, we get a 2-hit knockout. Beat Blue on our first attempt. So we only have 2 resets right now. 2 resets going into Red. And Red, I actually, I think I didn't showcase this, but I actually ran in the Red and I wasn't thinking. I saved and then didn't add I didn't add the rare candies. I didn't add anything. So here's what's happened in this battle. We've got our moveset. We're just going in with the moveset we showed up to Red with. We haven't modified our moveset. So that's what you're watching right now. We've already lowered our attack stat with Charm. This is why Pikachu can be problematic, because if he goes for Charm, we can lower our attack stat. And we're pretty much a physical attacker. That's our total MO. So I took another reset. So now we're up to 4 resets. And now we're going to face Red. Red's going to come out with Pikachu. We're going to go for Return. Thunder does not knock us out. Doesn't hit us at all. We have full health going into the Espeon. We're going to go for Return. We don't want it to go for Reflect. We get a one-shot critical hit on the Espeon. That's good. Now, Snorlax is the guy we're going to set up on. We'll go for Defense Curl. He's going to go for, Amnesia and boost his special. It's already pretty good. I don't know why he's boosting it more. But we're going to go ahead and go for Defense Curl. And now we're going to counter the Paralysis with Rest. Rest will restore our health. And it'll also remove the ailment that we have. We also have the leftovers equipped, so we're replenishing a little bit of health every time if he's doing very little damage. Right now, his Body Slam isn't doing nothing. We've Defense Curled 3 times, so our defense is very high. So look how little damage his pesky little Body Slam does. The one thing Body Slam does do that annoys the heck out of me is it does paralyze. 2-hit on the rollout, and we get a paralysis again. We're going to miss our attack, hopefully. We could keep rolling out here and not recover our health and get rid of paralysis, but we don't. Roll out on the Venusaur. Very good. Charizard comes out. We can tank a Flamethrower, but we're going to roll out one more time. We are really attacking through paralysis here. I'm actually very impressed with this Pokemon being able to attack through paralysis like this. Usually that's the kiss of death for any battle, and I grown it through. I'm glad I did, because we recover our health and doesn't really have anything great for us. He really just has Blizzard and Surf. And we're going to take a decent amount of damage from both of those. However, Return looks like it's going to be a 3-shot. Now, a decent strategy. I actually was listening to, I think it was Scott's Thoughts. He did a strategy where it was like attack, rest, attack, rest. And he kept going back and forth until he beat a Pokemon. That's kind of the same way here. We can do like one Return, get some damage done, and then replenish our health. And we're going to go ahead and go for rest one more time. We just need to wake up quicker. That's the problem right now we're having with Blastoise. We need to wake up a little bit quicker. And I don't know why we're going for rollout. Return, it's literally going to hit 2 more times and knock out the Pokemon. It's 100% accurate. Just wake up and hit. Surf, we're down just above half health. We're going for rollout, and then we just got to hit rollout one more time. Do we do enough damage? We do. We beat our rival, we beat Red on our 3rd attempt. And when you compare that to what we did last time, it took us 27 attempts last time. Now, there's some things that we did differently. When it came to facing blue, we ended up having to use a lot of rare candies to get by blue. So that's why we're at a higher level now rather than what we were in the original playthrough. We had to like give like 7 rare candies just to get by blue because we didn't have a good move for Rhydon. So it's how we had to like over level and brute force our way through the battle. So that's the first thing. So we're able to go into this battle and be able to give 11 rare. Is it 10? 10 or 11? I think it's 11. I think it's 10. 10 rare candies before we went into the battle against Red. And then what we were also able to do is we already knew the move set, so there was no point in trying something else. The only other strategy that's viable, and I don't like using this strategy, I try to avoid it at all costs. So if you ever see other YouTubers do it, that's fine. That's their way of getting by this battle. I don't like doing the curse strats unless I absolutely have to. I had to do that with Fortress. There really wasn't any options. However, with this Pokemon, this is the best option, and we were able to recover our health and counter all the things that this trainer was going to do. And we end up getting a very nice time. 1 hour and 38 minutes and 47 seconds compared to 1 hour and 56 minutes and 42 seconds. Almost 20 minutes saved. Really, it was 18 minutes and some seconds. Let's look at the tier list. So this was the tier list after our first playthrough, where Dunsparce is sitting here in the sub 2 hour run, 120 minutes. It's also called the Onyx tier. Where does it land after this playthrough? It lands us right next to Azumarill. Azumarill had a decent playthrough of 99 minutes and 12 seconds. We beat that Pokemon with 98 minutes and 47 seconds. So not bad for a Pokemon that I would consider it to be not extremely good. There's nothing like glaringly weak except for its speed, but like I said, for most of the game, the speed was not a problem. And yeah, this was fun playthrough. I enjoyed playing through with Dunsparce. Am I going to do it again? Probably not. I probably won't touch this Pokemon ever again. Some of the ones at the top of the leaderboard will probably get some extra playthroughs to see how much better they can do. But Dunsparce lands right snugly in the E tier, a little bit faster than Azumarill. That does bother me a little bit. Maybe I need to go back and play through Azumarill one more time. I didn't have the overlay that I have now, so I didn't have all the information. But nonetheless, Azumarill I thought was a solid Pokemon. I didn't think that Dunsparce was a solid Pokemon, to be honest. But, you know, things kind of shock you when you do these playthroughs. Maybe Azumarill needs one more playthrough. We'll figure that out in the future. But I want to thank everyone for stopping by. If you haven't already, make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment down below, all those things. They help out the channel. I really do appreciate it. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. The next video we're going to have is a playthrough of Nidoqueen. It's going to come out on Friday. Have a good one, and I'll see you guys next time.